is the Ferrari 12 cilindri, Ferrari's flagship car. Now, forgive me if I get the pronunciation wrong. I think it's 12 cilindri, but yeah. And now I say this because of the engine. The 12 cilindri has the naturally aspirated V12 engine that was in the previous Ferrari hypercars. The LaFerrari and the Enzo, well, the Enzo wasn't considered a hypercar, but still, the flagships. And this car has the V12 engine, but the flagship, the F80, the hypercar, that thing doesn't have the V12 engine. So I'm a little conflicted. I mean, obviously, in terms of everything else with the technology and all that, the F80 probably has this car beat. They probably have the best tech that Ferrari has to offer. But the 12 cilindri has, in my opinion, the best engine Ferrari has to offer. I mean, this is the most powerful naturally aspirated engine. Now, I know that twin turbo V8, V6 in the F80 produces, I think, somewhere around 800 and something horsepower. But this natural aspirated V12 produces 830 horsepower without any turbochargers, and that's a big deal. And it was the same for the LaFerrari. It used the same engine, but I don't think it had this much. I'm not sure if it had this much power. I think it had 800 horsepower, and it used a hybrid system. But this thing has it all. It doesn't have that, and it's using just the engine, which is a good thing, in my opinion. Now, the looks-wise, it's a bit more tamer. Obviously, it's not supposed to be their flagship, so it's a bit more tamer. But the looks are pretty decent, considering the design language. It has good shapes and angles. And honestly, you wouldn't think that it has such a powerful engine inside it, but it does. It's awesome. And that's where my conflict begins. This engine should have been in the F80. Now, I know I'm ranting about the F80 again, but still, this should have been the F80. And maybe the turbo V6 or something could have been in this car, or maybe a turbocharged version of the V12, or whatever could have been in this car. But this engine should have been the F80, and they didn't put it in, and that really sucks. And I wish that they had did, but it is what it is. So now you have to wonder, which is Ferrari's flagship? The car with the best dynamics and handling, which is the F80, or the car with the best engine, which is the 12 cilindri? Because Ferrari's identity is split into two parts: the engine and the chassis dynamics. And right now, both are divided between two cars, which makes you wonder which one is the best. And they're both integral parts, but it's a bit of a conflict, honestly. But I'm glad that they still have the V12. I was worried that the V12 was done with and they were gonna just stick to V8s, hybrids or something, but they still brought out the V12, which is a good thing. And hopefully somewhere along the line, maybe there's a possibility that the next Ferrari gets it. It seems unlikely considering the way things are going. I mean, the next hypercar's in a decade, but still, let's hope. But as far as for now, the 12 cylinder is a fantastic car. It has the dynamics of Ferrari. I mean, yes, it still has great chassis dynamics. It's not the cutting edge that we see in the F80, because they say they're best for the flagships, but this is still incredible. And it has the engine. So when you look at those two things combined, I'm starting to think this might actually be Ferrari's true flagship, even if it isn't. I mean, it's similar to what we were thinking about with the SF90 when it was announced. And it wasn't considered a flagship, it was just considered a supercar. But it still had all that power. So Yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, personally, I think this is Ferrari's true flagship. Yeah.